This video is intended as a quick overview of BPA Platform functionality. However, if you wish to follow along with the process, you will need a free currency API key. This can be obtained from this URL. Once you have registered, you can log in to view your API key and API credits along with the documentation. Make a note of your API key and the URL structure, as you will need this shortly. It will also be advantageous to download a text file that will be used later. This can be found at the Training Resources URL shown here. More information on the Web Service Connector tool can be found at our white paper library. Please note that this isn't a full production task and is only intended for demonstration and training purposes. To begin, we will need a global configuration. Go to System, Tools, Data Connectors, and select the Web Service Connector. Click Add, and then name it Convert Currency Tutorial. Select I do not have a definition file, and then click OK. In the Web Service Root tab, in the URL text box, paste the first part of the API URL as shown here, and ensure the web service type is Unknown Other. In the Operations tab, click Add and name it API Key. Ensure the operation type is GET, and then click OK. In the URL tab, type in the root URL field as shown here. In parameter name, type API key, and in the box below, type base_currency. In the box below, after the question mark in the URL, type API key equals, and then drag API key from the parameters to the URL. Next, type &base_currency equals, and drag the base currency parameter after the equals. The URL should now look like this. Next, in the Output Data tab, select Output Required. You will then need to open the browser and go to this URL. You will also need to replace this part of the URL with your own API key. We will then see the results, copy this, and go back to BPA Platform. And then paste this into the Schema text area. OK, now click Infer Schema from XML or JSON. Click Validate Schema, then click OK, and close the remaining dialog boxes. Let's create a new task. Select your chosen task folder and click New Task. Name it Currency Conversion, and then click the Design tab. We will need to create a number of variables for this. Go to the Browser Environment tab with Scope set to Task, right-click Variables, and then select New. In the General tab, name this var key, typed as shown, and in the Details tab, set type as parameter with attributes as in/out, and then click OK. Repeat this process for the following variables: var base currency, dollar conversion, example value, and var output. We now need to declare our variables. In the Browser Tools tab, let's drag in a Run VB Script step and name it Declare Variables. Click the Main tab. In the Browser Environment tab, with Scope set to Task, drag in var key, var base currency, and example value variables. For var key, type equals speech marks and paste in your API key and close the speech marks. For base currency and example amount, type this as shown. And then click OK. In the browser, Tools, Data Connectors, let's drag in a Web Service Connector tool and name it Free Currency API. In the Web Service tab, select our recently created web service and operation. Moving on to the Mapping tab, expand the API key and parameters trees. We will now map the variables we created to the API. Click Functions and under Data, drag in two fixed dynamic functions. Then close the functions. Drag the API key parameter to the first fixed dynamic and base currency to the second. Then click to open the first fixed dynamic function and open the Value tab. From the browser with scope set to task, drag in the var key variable and click OK. Now do the same for the second fixed dynamic, but drag in the var base currency variable. Then click OK and OK to close. For this basic example, we are going to extract the value using the Parse Text tool. In the browser, drag this from Tools, General, Parse Text. Name this Isolate USD Conversion Rate. And in the Main tab, we need the XML output from the Web Service Connector. In the browser, Environment tab, with scope set to task, turn down the Free Currency API step and Output XML node. We can now drag in the XML string into the data box. Let's now add a rule to specify what we need from this string. Click Add. Ensure type is extract between C1 and C2 with the C representing characters. And for C1, enter the following, and for C2, enter the following. Let's set this to output to the variable named $conversion. Click OK, and then OK again to close. To calculate the results, we need to drag in a Run VB script step and name it Calculate Results. In the Main tab, copy this as shown, then click Check Syntax and click OK to close. As part of a larger business process, this could be used with an ERP system or e-commerce solution. However, for this basic example, we are going to output the results to a text file. From Output, drag in a Save File tool and name it Save File Output. Click the Main tab and in the browser, Environment tab, with scope set to task, drag the var output variable into the value field. For path, we are going to select the desktop and give it a file name of test.txt, and then click OK. Finally, we can link the steps. And let's save and close the task. We can run the task manually by right-clicking and selecting Queue Now, although this could be on a schedule if you wish. Once the task has run, we can see the output file with the results of the currency conversion. And that's it for this BPA Platform Quick Focus video. Call us for further information or visit codelessplatforms.com. Thanks for watching.